Hello dear friends, I'm excited to share a powerful story from the scriptures that deeply moved me during my own journey of faith. This is the story of Elijah and the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel, a story about standing firm in faith and witnessing God's undeniable power. As we walk together through this account, I'll share not just the facts but my reflections on what it means to trust God even when the world around us seems to shout otherwise. One day, long before I walked alongside Jesus, the people of Israel had drifted far from God's truth. They had begun worshiping Baal, a false god, and Elijah, a faithful prophet, was sent to challenge this terrible turning away. I can only imagine the courage this man had. The story begins with Elijah standing on Mount Carmel, facing 450 prophets of Baal. I feel his heart pounding, knowing how high the stakes were, not just for him, but for the people he loved. Elijah called out to the people, "How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, then follow him." What a bold challenge. I picture the tension thick in the air. The prophets of Baal cried out, danced, and even cut themselves, hoping their God would answer with fire. But nothing happened. I imagine Elijah watching quietly, his eyes steady with faith. Then Elijah prepared his altar with care, placing the wood, cutting the bull, and even drenching everything with water. No chance of fire being lit by anything but God's hand. He prayed simply yet earnestly, "Lord, answer me, so these people will know you are God." Suddenly, fire fell from heaven, consuming the offering, wood, stones, and even the water in the trench around the altar. I can almost hear the people falling face down, crying out, "The Lord, He is God." As the fire from heaven consumed the altar, I could feel the awe and fear wash over everyone present. It was clear. There was no doubt left. The Lord alone is God. I, Peter, remember thinking how powerful faith truly is, especially when rooted in a deep trust in God's promises. Elijah's courage had led to this moment of undeniable truth. After the miracle, Elijah acted swiftly, telling the people to seize the prophets of Baal and bring them down to the Kishon Valley, where they were judged for leading Israel astray. It was a solemn moment, a reminder that turning from falsehood to truth often requires difficult choices, even when our hearts long for peace and unity. What stood out most to me was Elijah's unwavering trust in God even when things seemed impossible. He didn't rely on his strength or cleverness but simply prayed and waited. That teaches me, and I hope it teaches you too, that when we face challenges or doubt, our first response should be to turn fully to God with faith. He hears us and acts in His perfect way. Friends, this story encourages us to stand firm in faith, especially when surrounded by voices that pull us away from God's truth. Elijah's example reminds us that God's power is real and that He honors those who honor Him. As you reflect on this, I invite you to ask yourself, how can I show faithfulness like Elijah in my daily life? How do I respond when my faith is challenged? Thank you for sharing this journey with me. Let's remember the Lord's faithfulness as we face our own challenges, trusting that He is always with us. You can find this powerful story in 1 Kings chapters 18 verse 20 through 40. Thank you for spending this time with me, dear friends. If this story has touched your heart, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. By subscribing, you're supporting me to continue sharing these powerful Bible stories and spreading God's word. Together, let's keep walking in faith. May God bless you richly.